morning, everyone. Now, I know that we all kind of just woke up. It's 10:26 right now, and a lot of you probably just had breakfast. But right now, I want you to imagine a warm, freshly cooked dinner made up of homemade rigatoni with great-grandma's Italian meatball sauce recipe on top. And it just came off the stove. It's piping hot. You can see the steam rising from it, and it smells fantastic. Now, this is something that Lila Ossie is super familiar with because of her Italian background and her family traditions growing up. Now, I want you to remember that image because I'm going to come back to it in a second. But right now, I want to tell you a little bit about Lila and her experience growing up. So, Lila is from a small town outside Phoenix. She's from Anthem, Arizona. And growing up, she did a hodgepodge of all these different things. She did basketball and soccer and volleyball, kind of like I did. And she did dance for 5 years. She did figure skating. And at age 5, she picked up karate. And within 2 years was a black belt. So that's pretty interesting. She's still very fond of those old hobbies, but she's picked up some new ones. For example, caffeine is a hobby. She has about 8 espresso shots a day on average. Sometimes 12. She cuts it off at 12. And also, she'll reel it back to 4 if she's really feeling like, I need to back off on this. But she loves coffee. She loves going to the beach. She loves reading. She loves watching Netflix. And she's always listening to music. Now, something that happened in Lila's life when read about after 7th grade was something that was a shift in her life that would go on to change her life and who she is as a person and kind of shape her today. And that was changing schools. So she started going to a private Christian school. And Lila didn't really grow up in a Christian home per se. She didn't really go to church much or talk about faith with her parents. But when she moved to this new school, she kind of found herself in a new environment and surrounded by people who acted differently than her, and she didn't really know at first what to think about it. And she kind of was a little uneasy. But as time went on, she became more open to this idea of maybe this is something that I could be interested in and that might be important for my life. And she made a lot of friends at school, and a lot of them encouraged her. They said, "You might really like Young Life Camp. I think you should try it." So she did. The summer after that year, she took them up on it, and she went to Young Life Camp, and she went to a place called Lost Canyon. And it truly was transformative and a really amazing experience for her. And for her, especially because growing up, her faith wasn't a big part of her life, it really became her own. It wasn't something her parents impressed upon her. And that moment was kind of a cornerstone of her faith and of her journey. And really, that part of her life is really something that shapes who she is today. And, despite some natural ups and downs that come with faith, as it should, that's really a big part of who she is. Now, another part of who she is her relationship with her Nana. And so think back to that image of the pasta I talked about. That recipe, that was her great-grandmother's. Well, her Nana is her grandmother, and they would cook that recipe all the time, and they would make it and eat it together, especially during something they would call Pasta Sundays, where they would have pasta every Sunday, and they would get together and cook. And along with that, they had other traditions like going to the movies, watching Disney movies, and they would go to Cape Cod every summer, go to Massachusetts and relax at the beach. So in general, she just loved spending time with her Nana, and they just really enjoyed hanging out together. But her Nana was more than just those experiences to her and those memories. The person of who her Nana was a huge inspiration to her, and in fact is one of the most inspirational people to Lila today. And so when I was talking to Lila, she said that her Nana is known as a very kind woman, a very accepting woman, a loving woman, and a warm, inviting person. And as she said, she told me that there was kind of some family drama, some ups and downs over the years, but that despite all of that and through that, her Nana remained loving and remained constant and would continuously invite people into her home. And she said that was a huge inspiration to her, and even despite some hardship her Nana went through herself, she maintained that loving attitude. So why is this important for Lila? Well, when I talked to Lila, she said she didn't really know what she wanted with her career or her major, that kind of thing. But she did know what she wanted to be as a person and who she wanted to be known as. And that was a joyful person. That was somebody who can make your day better. And if you see them in the hallway, they make you smile. And that was an inspiration to me. And she said that she wanted to love God and love others well. And that you never know what somebody goes through. And a big part of that is because of her family hardship growing up and some of that. And because of her own parents' divorce when she was young, she wants to keep an open mind to everyone and just welcome everybody with open arms. And another thing she said to me that I thought was powerful was, I don't want anybody to feel unseen. I thought that was really, really great. And so one last time, think back to the image of the pasta real quick. It was warm, it was inviting, and it was comforting. Well, that's what Lila hopes to be. Rooted in her faith and inspired by her Nana, she wants to bring others just as much comfort as a home cooked meal. Thank you.